Hello, everybody. Welcome to the newest episode of Always Connected. We are live as we are recording this. Our topic today is when guidance feels quiet. So, if you keep asking for guidance, but you don't hear anything back, we're going to talk about that. I love that I'll be able to interact with a lot of you live today. I don't know about a lot, actually, maybe 5 to 10 of you. So if you're trying to get in the room, and in fact, I'm getting all kinds of notices that people are trying and they can't get in, and I have to stop that little pop-up because it's distracting. I'm sorry, but we're just going to trust that whoever got in was the ones who are supposed to come on the show today. And if you can't get in, try again next week, because this is the format we'll be following for a while. It appears you all liked the one we did the first time, so let's get going here. Today's topic, again, when guidance feels quiet. I know this is an issue because for the literally thousands of people that I've taught to connect with higher consciousness, one question comes up over and over again, and that is, I'm trying to reach my guides. I ask for guidance, but I'm not hearing an answer. So there could be several reasons for that. I'm going to share a few of them here, and then I'm going to shift more from talking mode to listening and receiving, and bring some of you on one at a time and hear your issues with this. And we'll ask Spirit what guidance we get. And what I was thinking about just before we went on is how funny it is that I'm expecting to hear the guidance when I tune in. And what if I don't? So one of the biggest reasons why we often don't sense answers is, number one, we expect guidance to come like picking up a phone, right? We're used to saying, I don't know what's going to happen when I say this. Hey, Siri. She's quieted for now, so that's good. We're used to asking a question and getting immediate answers. That's how our human bodies are programmed. That's what we're used to, but that's not necessarily how spirit works. Spirit can come through in many ways. In fact, if you saw the short video I put out midweek earlier, it was about how spirit often shows up in our ordinary life in very ordinary ways. So your answer may not come immediately as if coming from guides talking in your ear. It could come by someone you happen to encounter saying just what you needed to hear. Or perhaps you'll open up a newspaper and your eyes are snagged by a certain headline, or you're snagged by a billboard with just what you needed to hear. So I would say the first piece of guidance when the guidance goes quiet is to notice that the guidance may be coming in ways you don't expect, and to be open to that. Once you understand that spirit arises in ways that are perfect, we learn to relax and trust. Another reason, very common, that we don't sense what's coming from spirit is that we're in doing mode and we're distracted and we're focused on this objective world, when the answers, the insights, the guidance we're seeking bubble up in awareness. This word awareness is so important on this path we're all on, because it is our basic essence, our true nature. Awareness, being aware. The one thing every one of us listening right now, and I looked at all the comments as many of you came in live, you're coming from all over the world, and thank you for joining us. The one thing we all share is we know we are aware. I am. And I know it, right? Everything else added to that is story, and everything else changes constantly. But when you can find that state of being that is simply being this here now, awareness, being aware, then you realize that's where the guidance comes from. That may sound silly, but I'd like you to dive into that in the coming days and just sit and be awareness and notice how sensations, thoughts, and feelings simply arise within awareness. And the key is understanding that it's not necessarily coming from some all-knowing being, but from beingness itself. And this awareness arises as experiences. So those experiences could be in the form of awareness arising as guides, or it could be awareness arising as the experience of a bird that stops right in front of you and squawks at you and sends you the message from a loved one that you just know in your heart is them. So we don't know how awareness is going to arise, but we trust it. But when we're distracted, it's very difficult to notice what's arising amidst all the noise. Right now, I had to just really settle down before we started the podcast, because even though it's a Sunday here, right now in my house are 2 painters, an electrician, and a garage door repairman. 4 people, 4 strange energy fields in my house, and I had them all go to the other end of the house. And I had to sit here and say, this is what we train ourselves for, to shut out distractions and simply notice what arises. And notice that word training. That is a practice we can do to become calm and centered no matter what is going on. My Sip of the Divine, the 3-minute practice you can find on YouTube or on my website, is perfect training for getting centered with just 1 or 2 slow, deep breaths and noticing the sensations, thoughts, and feelings that arise in awareness right here, right now. Notice STF, sensations, thoughts, and feelings. In my book, The Awakened Way, I call that the stuff of life. That's all that's really going on, no matter whether you're in your dreams, whether you're experiencing this life in human form, or whether you're no longer in body and you've crossed the veil. Everything is sensations, thoughts, and feelings arising within awareness. This is the basic understanding that helps us understand where the guidance comes from. It's not a place, it's a state. So if you're distracted, if you're in pain, if you're emotionally dragged down, such as by grief, which is very understandable, when someone you love has crossed the veil, it's going to be harder to sense the guidance that arises. But because we're connected by this web of consciousness, this sea of consciousness, whatever analogy we want to use, the good news is that guidance is always going to be available. So what we do is we put out our question or our desire of what it is we want to know, and then we are patient. And I thought of this the other day, that asking for guidance from spirit is like fishing. A fisherman doesn't go and put their hook in the water, their line in the water, where they know there are no fish. That wouldn't make sense. So when we fish for guidance from spirit, we totally expect and know that the answer, our fish, is out there. But a fisherman also doesn't sit there and just keep jerking the rod saying, is there a fish there yet? Is there a fish there yet? We just wait, and we're patient, and we're still, and we're quiet, and we wait for that little tug on the line. Isn't that a great analogy? So some days we could go fishing and come home empty-handed, and other times lots of fish. Why is that? Well, we trust that awareness will bubble up exactly at the right time with what we need. And I just heard, because it bubbled up in awareness, all right, that's the baseline. Now we're going to move on to this part of the podcast where I'm going to bring one of you on at a time, and then we'll tune in to spirit and see how the answers bubble up. All right, how's that sound? Good. So we'll see. I'm a sound engineer, picture engineer. If you see me looking off screen, it's because I'm playing with a bunch of buttons here, juggling that human side and the spirit side. So I can see who's in the waiting room. Susan, guess what? You are first up.
Hi.
Let's change the view here. Hi, Susan. How are you?
Great.
you hopefully have some issue that deals with our topic at hand today. So why don't you share it with us and we'll see how Spirit answers that.
Yeah. So I have heard, I felt like Spirit has been bombarding me with signs to take action, to make a change in my life. But then when I try, and I've actually felt like this loving force behind me, trying to prevent me from staying on the same path. But then when I actually did try to take action to make the change, these safety nets kept falling in place for me. So now I'm just confused, and I'm been asking for a sign to know when to make the change or the right timing.
Yeah.
Now I've just, I don't know.
Okay. As I tune into what you're saying, the words that snagged me, and any of you that are watching versus just listening, you may have seen my lip twitch right there because I always tune into Spirit beforehand. I can't make it twitch, but that's my sign from Spirit. We've got this. Trust this. So what snagged me as you spoke were three words that I just quickly wrote down here: trying and preventing you, certain things preventing you, but you also called them safety nets. So what I sense here is you're really walking a balance beam here. You know that the guidance is there, but there's still just this bit of fear of what if I make the wrong move? Because you use the term safety nets, there's still a bit of fear, not that complete trust, yet there's this knowing that you're being guided. So I feel that you're waiting for just the right moment to make this leap. I can feel within you, and it's just so clear, you know this change is the right one for you. And you know it's time, and you know that you've been guided. And I love that you use the word bombarded with signs. So I got the goosebumps here because you can't deny that it's time. That's that inner knowing from your soul. So trust that. Keep flowing with that. And that same knowing that you have that this change is right for me, that it's going to be right. Just wait for that click, that lift, that calm present. Now is the time. When there's that tightness, which you experience when you say words like safety nets, that's still just a little fear, but it can also be, and Spirit said, yes, it is, also Spirit saying, not quite the right time. So the best practice for all of us when we're balancing between our own human fears and knowing that Spirit's guiding us, breath is going to be your friend. A nice, deep vagus nerve breath that I talk about in the Awaken Way, to just calm yourself, at least 60 seconds of slow breathing before you tune in and say, is now the time, or what's next? And a huge piece of guidance is that answer probably won't come with words. It is going to come with that knowing that is this calm, right? Yeah, there's a lot of emotion in this big change for you. It is a big leap, but Spirit says, wait until it doesn't feel like a jumping off a cliff, that it's a gentle stepping off the curb, and you're not there yet. There are a few more pieces that need to come into place. All right?
I feel like it's getting close. That's how I feel.
And Spirit says you can trust this. See, you have a very strong knowing. And so just trust is the big guidance. Don't be in a hurry, because also in that knowing, in the relaxing, is the message, all is well, now we can move forward. Okay? So just, you're flowing, but you kind of like, you go out of the stream a little, out of the stream, but you come right back in. Mm-hmm. So just trust that the more you relax and trust that it's coming, you'll stay in the middle of the stream, and then now's the time, and you'll be able to look back and see why it wasn't right then, and it's perfect now. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, feel a little more peace with that. So just breathe and thank Spirit, really, right? And just trust. All right? Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks.
All righty. Bye-bye. All right, everybody. The topic, again, this is great. Susan, what a beautiful energy there. Let's see, bringing up the topic again. when guidance feels quiet. It's always there. And anybody who comes on the show, you might see a little red button that says remove yourself from the show. That will allow, once you've talked, other people to come on in your place. And then you can always go back to my YouTube channel and rejoin the podcast. All righty. So we have next up Carolyn.
Oh my goodness.
Is it Carolyn or Caroline?
Caroline.
Caroline. I thought it might be. Okay.
I have to tell you, I just finished taking your course, and I was praying for a balance between my logic and my spiritual side. And your classes came into my life. And I just want to let you know, thank you very much.
Hey.
I so heartfelt appreciate
You
it.
found the balance, or if you're finding it, huh?
I'm finding it. I'm a newbie, and I have sort of two-part question.
Okay, when I'm tuned in like this, I can only handle one part at a time. So just
Gotcha.
feed it to me one at a time.
Okay. I've had sort of experiences where I've pictured people or received people from across the veil, and it kind of comes in and out. I've tried to connect to my mom, but I've had a tumultuous relationship with her, so that hasn't worked very well. But I have felt my grandfather, my father, and my husband who have passed.
Excellent.
And my question is, I want to make it relevant to what we're talking about today, because that's what you're requiring. And my question is that in the case with my mother, is it, I know it, my part of it, I get filled with my story and all the earthly stuff, but I wonder if it's something also from her, from the other side, if that's making any sense.
It's a great question, and it pertains to so many of us. The greatest realization I've come to from talking to thousands of souls across the veil is they shed these bodies with our stories that go with them. We take the story because they still allow us to continue our relationships with our soul family, no matter what form they're in. And yet when we feel that love, that expansiveness once without the body filtering awareness, many times they give me this symbol where I see their eyes opening and they just say, I get it now. I've had the life review. I see what it was all about. I was really here to shine my light, and I want a chance to talk to my loved one and make amends and thank them and ask for forgiveness, which is why I tell everybody, if we can do what many spiritual teachers say, and not physically, but die daily to this story and make our amends now, we don't have to find a medium to do that. But you don't need a medium, because you can do all of that, Caroline. All of us can, with your mom now. And often the reason we don't sense our loved ones is because we still have a bit of work to do. We want to bring just the right energy to that connection when it comes in loud and clear or softly, however it's going to show up. And I do feel that you will sense your mom, not as a sign, but as an actual interaction. You're going to feel such a difference in your interaction, because when you make that connection, you're going to be going with this understanding that you both were souls the whole time, but might not have remembered it. And so you have a bit of that story to still process and see why your mom acted the way she did, why you acted the way you did. Once you have that higher perspective that she has now, you'll meet her with more understanding. It'll make that connection easier. And you will have already done some of that work that allows your light to shine brighter, which makes the connection easier. Make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yep. And because we make a connection with loved ones sometimes right away, it doesn't mean that we've cleared out all the stuff. It just means that the resonance was just right, that we can continue working together. That word work is really not a great word to use, is it? But we understand it in English. It's really a joy as we clear out anything that keeps us from realizing that love is all that matters, right?
Well, I sort of have that with my grandfather, and he died when I was 2 years old, but I feel him watching over me and giving me his strength.
Nice. And you're all part of, every one of us is part of one soul family. So I'm sure that his working with you is part of laying the path for just the right timing of connecting with your mom.
Oh, that makes sense.
All right.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people waiting. So pop your second part of your question at me and we'll take that.
You're saying you will answer it?
Oh, yeah. I just can't do it. You just don't give them to me right at the same time.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. I'm wondering if I was born to be a medium. That's something I want to do in my profession as a psychotherapist. And I have done it. It's kind of sporadic, but I want to develop it more. That's why I'm taking the next course with you. Okay. I want to learn. I want to know if I what you pick up.
Okay. What's more important is what's going on in your heart, in your heart, in your body, in your awareness. What is that want? Where is it coming from? And the biggest question is, can you not do it without going back to, I'm supposed to do this?
I don't feel like I'm supposed to do it. I feel it's gift. And it's something I feel at my age, I want to give back. Yes. I have a joy when I can help people say, oh yeah, this makes sense. To me, I'm going to start crying. That to me is more fulfilling than just about anything, to be able to get along.
And there you go. Here's your answer. See, you didn't need it from me. Spirit just guided you right to that knowing. Yep. So just as long as you continue feeling that way and the joy bubbles up and that emotion is a beautiful acknowledgement that, yeah, this is my path, just follow that. It was another medium, James Van Frog, said, if you're not enjoying it, why are you doing it? So
makes sense.
That's a big question for everybody. All right, Caroline, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for talking to me.
That's a blessing. Bye-bye.
God bless you. Bye.
All right, everybody. Today, our topic is when guidance feels quiet. If you are enjoying the live format, be sure to click subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell to be notified. Hopefully, I can go live more Sundays than not. If I can't, we'll record earlier in the week. And you can always check my homepage for when we're going to be recording. So for now, I am planning on doing this live again next Wednesday, but let's continue on with another guest. Let's see who we have here. I'm looking in the waiting room. So far, we have all women in my view today. Last time we started with 2 guys. When guidance goes quiet, we're talking now with Elizabeth. You are live. You have thousands of people eventually. How fun is that?
Hello, Suzanne and Sanaya. I wrote my question down so I wouldn't get sidetracked. Okay. In August of 2022, I attended a week-long meditation event where I meditated with around 2,500 people daily. Oh, wow. And after that, my meditations just exploded. I was communicating with beings, deities, ETs, visiting different worlds, and it was very vivid and clear. Then I had a medical emergency, and I thought it was a heart attack, but the doctor couldn't confirm. They said I was fine. And immediately after, my connection rapidly declined to almost complete silence. Yeah. And a friend of mine, who's also spiritual, said that what actually happened was it was an unfolding, and I'd need to learn a new way to connect. And I've tried many different ways over 2 years, and nothing's gotten me close to where I used to be. So my question is, why did my connection change, and how do I get back to that? Because I used to I had a little closet. I'd go in there and I go, oh, I wonder what's going to happen next. And I would sit, and I didn't have a process. It just happened.
All right. This is so great, and it will help everybody, Elizabeth. So I love that all of our challenges can eventually help each other as part of that web we're part of. So what a wonderful experience to have a week with 2,500 people with shared energy. This podcast here, can y'all feel the energy? We love that shared group connectivity and resonance that brings a state of coherence in the body, which is why you had such a great connection with so many different aspects of awareness. That's what beings and ETs and everything are. It's all awareness taking on different forms. And why that happened is not only the coherence, but why the coherence happened. I can tell by the fact that you wrote your question out that you're more left brain than right, generally.
Yes.
Yeah. As are most of the people that are drawn to my work, because I was so left brain in the past. I found the balance through daily meditative practice, if only 3 minutes a day, like that sip of the divine. And what happens is the left brain is used to writing and words and figuring out things and categorizing, but meditation dampens those activities and heightens the right brain's activities of flow and knowing oneness and going beyond the body functions. So you found more balance. You got to maintain that for a while. And then wham, what happens? You have a physical emergency. And now the left brain did what it did best. It kept you safe. It put you on alert and it made sure you paid attention to the body. So whatever you achieved, that beautiful state of coherence in the meditative retreat, it's still there.
Okay.
But the heart experience or the medical experience simply took you back to that. One of the first reasons I gave you why the guidance appears to go silent is because you had to put your focus somewhere else. And you wouldn't have wanted it any other way until your body came back into balance. Now it is. And it's simply a matter of removing any distortion, removing any resistance, removing what's getting in the way of letting the right brain just come back online and dampening the left brain. It's simply, in this case, physiology, because your base state of being the I am, you experience that. Now you know what it feels like. All you have to do is go back to that state and say, oh, that was a period in my life where I was focused on the body, but with neuroplasticity, you reprogram the way the neurons travel through your body. Patterns in your body come from the brain. So simply go back to enjoying that beautiful period of silence you had, but understand that you're different now. So your experiences, all of us in connecting with spirit, may actually unfold differently now because it's time for a new adventure. Maybe you don't need to connect with ETs. Now you're going to connect with other people's loved ones. That's just hypothetical for now. But to expect awareness to bubble up the same way is left brain. Right
and
brain.
I was,
yeah.
Because it was so, I've never had anything like it before. And I miss it. And I sit and I try not to sit in expectation. And then I sit for 20 minutes and then I start to doze off and I think, oh my, nothing's happening. What am I doing wrong?
Yeah. So perhaps a deeper recalibration is happening. So great advice for you and everyone is to simply be curious. That's a great mindset. Instead of expecting bells and whistles, be curious about how awareness is going to show up in your meditations next. I've noticed that I haven't been having bells and whistles experiences in my meditation, and the guides advised me to then set an intention to connect with a new higher being, just one.
Oh,
Who's going to now we'll start a relationship together. I don't know who it is. I'm excited, but now I'm holding one focus. So all of you, great to hold one focus. Like what got me started on this path was I was going to connect with my stepdaughter who passed, and that was it. So those of you who are grieving, hold that as your intention. But in sitting and being silent, right, you're going to touch that state again over and over and over, that state of beautiful I amness. And if that being you're looking for shows up, awesome. If not, what else is happening? At the very least, you're feeling that bliss. Okay?
okay, good. I was hoping that I hadn't lost it.
You can't lose it. It's your basic essence. It just got clouded over with expectation and then a physical trauma that the body needed to take care of and did.
Okay, great.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Great to feel you. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. Today's topic, when guidance feels quiet. We're chatting with each of you, bringing some issue that has to do with the topic, and I'm just tuning into what arises in awareness, just hopefully modeling how I don't have the answers, and maybe the answers don't even already exist. They bubble up as a result of our shared intentions coming together and watching how it unfolds. Isn't that cool? All right. So let's see who we have here. I have to put my glasses on to read who's in the waiting room. I believe it's Elise. You're going to have to tell me how you say your name. Hi.
Hello. Hello from Switzerland. It's dark in here.
Oh my goodness. What time is it?
Well, it's 6:30.
Okay. And how do
Yeah.
you say your name?
Elise. Well, my
Elise.
real name is Elide, but I know that it's hard to pronounce, so my nickname is Elise, so that's
Well,
fine. Yeah.
Excellent. Welcome to the show. I love the international flavor you're bringing.
Well, thank you. I have been following you in these last 6 months. I did not know about you, and I came across you. And I came across you because I had a very difficult year. My cancer came back, and I have been since January under a lot of things. I've had signs. I got some signs before you were speaking that the guides don't speak to you directly at the beginning of this video, but you get some signs. And my question to my guides were, am I going to be okay? So my thing is related to my health. And then I've been questioning, is that okay to ask a guide about basically my physical health, not my spiritual health?
Okay.
And so it has been also difficult because I've had so many procedures, so many things going through my body that as it relates to the person you spoke just before, it's hard. It's hard.
Yes.
So how can I, and I'm so shaking this moment, it's how can I connect and get some answers?
Okay. All right. Everybody, this is the beauty of being in a group. We can all just take a deep breath and be the conduits of peace and healing energies to send to Elise. We all need that all the time, but just sending peace right now. Yeah. So as you sit and soak up that gift, what is arising as you ask that question is again the awareness of the human need to have answers and have certainty and to know what's coming. That's our built-in safety valve that if I can plan for what's coming, I'll be okay. I'll feel safe now. But truly, there really only is awareness bubbling up right now. And the future is often uncertain, but we don't like living with uncertainty. It's okay to ask any question. It's okay to ask, am I going to be okay? But spirit often won't answer that question because there are so many variables. The deeper question is not a question, spirit says, but a request. Please help me find peace and strength now. And in this moment, then, I'm okay. And please help me find the gift in this moment now. And may I translate that gift into my world now. How does that feel? She's nodding her head if you're listening.
Extremely moving. Extremely moving.
Yeah. And so when you realize that we may never have that certainty, and if you got a yes, what would you do with your life? If you got a no, what would you do with your life? So instead, what can you do with your life right now to simply ensure you have comfort, you have safety, and that what you need is provided right now? That's what awareness does best. And spirit will provide all of that in beautiful ways, and we'll notice it when we're not always looking for the future and needing that certainty. I can't tell you how many people I've talked to, and I know most of us have, who have cancer or some other big challenge and learn so much from it about the kindness of others and how much strength you actually have, right? And the paradox is, in the meantime, the pain and it sucks. It's horrible. All of that human stuff balanced with this bigger experience you're having. So we wouldn't wish that on anybody, but here it is. So the question is, what can I do? The question for spirit, what can I do with how life is unfolding for me now and ride this out in peace? Please show me that. And that, because you're asking it from a different space even, will result in answers and guidance coming to you in ways that bring you that peace and comfort now. Okay?
Yes. Yes. I felt so much gratitude in through this year with everything I've been through. Everybody has been an angel to me, very much so. And I say that to the technician, to the doctors, to the oncologist, to everybody. Said, you've been an angel to me.
Yes. Yeah.
There's a lot of gratitude.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is another part of working with spirit that, when the guidance goes quiet, we feel like we didn't get what we want, and you may not have heard the answer you wanted, and yet we hear something else that just turns our way of experiencing and thinking and feeling, and we realize we got what we needed in this moment now. So watch the way you're wording your questions and what is it we really need right now. Okay? Sending you the blessings that all of that what you need right now unfolds perfectly for you, and that the gifts in this reveal themselves, and at the same time we send you such perfect balance and health for your body. Okay?
I am extremely honored, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you to you and to everybody. Thank you.
Everybody here. Thank you all.
Yes.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
thank you, Elise. Bye-bye. Whew. Sometimes we laugh on this show. Sometimes we cry together. Hopefully we have ahas together, because I don't know what answers are going to come out. And it's that curiosity and openness to surprises. I want to give a shout out to my soul sister, Lynette, who's driving down I-95. Keep the hands on the wheel, Lynette, listening to the show. She was just with my dear friend Karen, stalking the monks who are walking across America for peace, and they found them and they got to pet the dog. I don't know if they pet the dog. I saw a picture of the dog, but how cool is that, to bask in that goal of peace? I love it, and I honored all of you who are doing your best to bring more peace in our world. Okay, let's see who's backstage now. I believe that says Heather. Heather, are you ready? Are you ready? Here we come. Yes.
Hi.
Hi, Heather. Our subject today, when guidance goes quiet. What's up?
My question is, how does yin and yang energy affect our connection with spirit?
Oh, great question. If you're watching and not just listening, can you see over my shoulder that little yin yang thing?
Yes.
On the shelf? Yeah, behind me on the shelf it's behind my chair. There. It's a yin yang symbol that a friend made. Lynn Spence made it out of glass fusion. Just a reminder of our dual nature. How does it affect our getting guidance from spirit? Tremendously. Because through all of us, I'm going to shift here, so I'm not just talking off the top of my head. Let's let spirit talk through me. Our two polar opposite energies. We call them yin and yang, or yang. We can call them masculine and feminine. We can call it positive and negative, but that has a negative feel. So either way, they're opposites. And that's how awareness arises and then creates and arises as all that is. When those are in balance, that's when we have what we call coherence. And when we are in a balanced state, that coherence results in a beautiful connection with spirit. So a really great practice for all of you, for all of us. And by the way, stick around, because in this program, one thing we do is what we call the wild card moment, where spirit will guide us. And I was just told we're going to do a practice of balancing. Oh, that's cool. So they said, don't tell them now, stick around and we'll do it. A practice with spirit guiding us of how to come into balance with the yin and the yang. How's that sound?
That was my next question. How do you integrate it?
Okay,
That's awesome.
excellent. So everybody hang around and we'll do that together.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. All right, everybody. If you are enjoying this, please put your comments. Oops, what did I just do? We're going to remove that one and remove that one. There, I got to push the right buttons here. Please put your comments in the comment section, not just in the chat, and put in the comment section your experience when you sensed guidance in a way that came through how you didn't expect it. I love reading the comments and seeing how these experiences are often universal. So we'll do a few more people. I love that we're able to bring on more of our Awake and Wake community here today. Let's see. Annette, you were chosen by Spirit. It's all Spirit. How are you?
I'm great. How about you?
Doing well. You're on the East Coast. Well, maybe you are. Your shirt says Penn State. The East
Yes.
Coast of the United States is getting some crazy
My
weather.
husband was going to go to Millersville, so
That's my alma mater, Little State College in Pennsylvania, Millersville. Isn't that something?
I'm in Delaware, actually, though.
Okay. Well, how can we help you today?
So you started me on this journey a year ago. So you taught me how to meditate. And
Excellent.
then I did the Bless Me method, and it said to ask your guide. So I asked my guide to come forward, and I saw this tall being in a green like robe with a light for the face.
Nice.
And so then you said, ask their name. So I asked his name, and he said Moses. And I'm like, I can't have Moses as my guide. Like,
There are
no.
lots of Moseses out there.
Okay. So so then I took your horror method. So that was Friday. I talked to a psychic who said, yes, Moses is your guide.
Hang on just a second. She's talking about my recent course that's on my website called The Forgotten Center, all about the hara, where we can anchor in that awareness of spirit. So yeah.
So after I heard that, the morning of, it was on a Saturday, the morning of, I started like, let me see what Moses is all about, you know? So I looked and I said, he went up to the mountain 40 days, 40 nights, came back down, and his face was light. And then I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. So then that night before I said, give me a sign. And the sign I got was a key. So the next video I looked at showed Jesus holding a key in his hand.
Outstanding. See, she's playing a sign game, and people.
And then I took your horror method, and you showed a key.
I sure did. Yep.
So I've been trying to connect, but lately, like I just find that I'm not getting anything. I used to get lots of signs. Now I don't. And so why all of a sudden did it go quiet?
Maybe you don't have anything to fix right now. Maybe there's nothing to know right now. Maybe if you got bells and whistles all the time, you would miss deeper messages that come from just being satisfied with silence. Those just popped up because they apply to all of us, but let's tune in and see what's actually going on with you. No, what I'm sensing is everything is well, and that spirit doesn't like to bowl us over with nonstop signs, that there are often fallow periods. Just like farmers know that you reap the harvest and then you have to let that rest for a while. But that resting as awareness daily shows a commitment to remembering who we are. When you can get to the point where you realize this is not just, all of us can see this as a game where I'm going to play with guides and names and get fun signs. That's like one of the initial stages. And it comes with so much excitement, I know from experience, because you can't deny you're part of something so much greater. But for you, I feel now it's time to go a little deeper. We're going to go beyond playing games too. We're going to ask some of the really deep questions in meditation. We can all ask them of AI now. I have my Grace, my virtual librarian at SuzanneGiesemann.com, your questions answered. You can get all kinds of answers there, but now it's time for you to sit quietly and ask deeper questions like, what is this all about? Why is it possible that those signs show up like that? What do I need to know now? I can feel a little bit of excitement in all of you, like, ooh, that's that curiosity. Well, I wonder what answers I'll get if I ask within. And let's make it new, Spirit. Let's make it interesting. So I keep coming back for more. That's the bargaining stage of spirituality, right? So,
Yeah.
a lot of people get in that stage. Well, if I'm not going to get answers and signs and wows, I'm not going to do this. But really, the joy is in all of it. It's in the wows, and it's in those moments where nothing may appear to be happening, but like some of the previous questioners and guests here, we just experience that state of pure being that so few humans have, and that's peace. So we're preparing ourselves for those moments when we really need the guidance, and we know how to find that peace. And then what we need is right here. How's that?
That's good. I'll keep doing it then. I've learned so much in a year, so.
Isn't that something? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wish you all could see Annette's beautiful dog she brought on the screen.
This is my meditation dog. She comes with me on this couch all the time to meditate with me.
Awesome. Because she loves the energy, right? Dogs are our greatest guides. They just know how to just be present with whatever. Eckhart Tolle wrote a book called Guardians of Being. I recommend it for all of you. It's really about how our pets, I have 2 of them right here right now, are just such perfect examples of being in the now. But thank you. Great question, Annette, that applied to everybody. I know that just by coming on and asking it, you helped a lot of people. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
All righty. Me too. I appreciate all of you. Bye-bye. All right. I'm asking Spirit. Should we ask a few more? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see a few more of you waiting. I see my painters are still here. Life goes on. All right, let's see. Our topic today, again, when guidance feels quiet. Let's see. I see here. The name is Jan. You ready to come on here? You're on. You're on. Yeah,
Hello.
you made it.
Yay. Okay. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Where are you?
I'm in York in the UK.
Awesome. More of our international crowd.
Okay. I have a silent sign. On occasions, I've had a yellow golden orb in front of my third eye for maybe a minute, and it happened the first time before I had my Reiki attunements. And when I had my Reiki attunements, it was all over me. And then on occasions thereafter, it's just appeared and hovered around me.
Beautiful.
And I would just like to know if anybody knows what that was, because I tried communicating and couldn't get anything, but beautiful.
Yeah. This for you, I'm sensing, is the first stage of truly coming to know your guide, but not as a person, as a beautiful being of light. And they're
Wow.
saying now, as are you.
Thank
And
you.
when we can come to know that we are all light beings and we don't need form to have relationships, we come to know that our loved ones who have died are also these beautiful light beings, that they don't come from anywhere. They arise in awareness when we need them most. And you were given this gift of seeing with your physical eyes what's right here. This
It was
beautiful
amazing.
pattern of light. Isn't that awesome? So now just continue engaging with words or without. Like they talked about the Forgotten Center workshop. Move your awareness out of the head and stop trying to, even as I say stop, that sounds like an order. Do your best to not think, am I doing this right, or what do I need to do? Just move your awareness down into your heart and the hara and connect with that orb. Send it love and see what you receive in response. Could be words, could just be this overflowing feeling of love. You could feel yourself dissolve and merge with that orb as one. Close your eyes and not need to see it. Play with it. Be curious.
Yes, because I see it as a circle round about me at times. It goes like that.
Yeah.
And when I close my eyes, I can just see a big gold circle. And I often think, is that my guardian angel or my guide?
It is. It is. And I feel a lot of our community listening right now saying, I want that. We all want some kind of cool experience like that. And part of this journey is realizing that we are awareness, having our unique experience. And so honoring other people's experiences, it's okay to ask for that ourselves, but also being open to how awareness is going to show up for us for the joy of it, right?
And it is joy.
It is total joy. And it's not always fun, right? And it's not always easy, but it's all that basic I am saying, bring it on. Yeah. Thank you, Jan.
Thank you.
All right.
Love to everyone.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Look at here. We have one. I see one more person on my screen. I was going to stop and Spirit says, no, bring Melissa on. I can see Melissa. And oh, there we go. And it's not the Melissa who's on my team. This is another Melissa. What a beautiful royal blue top you have on there.
Thank you.
And where are you?
I'm in Pennsylvania.
Another Pennsylvania person. Okay.
Yes.
Great. To the rest of you, we won't have time to get to you today. I'm sorry, but let's hear what Melissa says. Then we're going to do that practice that Spirit promised us of balancing our energy. So what's up?
Well, I started my spiritual journey about a year ago, and I'm ready to make a big change. So I started working towards that, and it was scary, but I felt pretty good. I felt like I was getting some good signs. I was headed in the right direction. I had my family and my dog, and I felt like things were going well. And then in November, my dog passed away. And ever since then, I felt like all my signs have stopped. And, finding a lot of fear and, fear of loneliness, fear of, do I know what to do next? Like I've lost confidence. And then in that, I feel like I'm reaching for the signs that aren't coming anymore.
Oh, what I feel immediately, Melissa, is that it was divine timing that started you questioning reality, which is really what the spiritual journey is, and questioning who we all are to prepare you for your dog's passing, right? You were in a different space already when that happened. You were open to the awareness that your dog is still part of your life. I'll put in the show notes a wonderful blog post I wrote about when my dogs passed, about going from despair to joy in 60 seconds when I felt their souls burst out of their bodies. But so first of all, pet or person, grief can really divert us from the path. It drags us down. And for the very reasons we talked about at the beginning, it just blocks our awareness that spirit is right here. So be good to yourself, honor whatever's arising, and know that it's all perfect. That this path, unfortunately for our human side, does not unfold perfectly linearly. Like you were on this path and it was going just right, and all these steps were falling into place, and then that happened. Your dog passed, and it threw you for a curve. But that's how life flows. Now, where are you? And how's it going to unfold now? And so you could set new goals than you had in the past. I want to connect clearly with my pet, or I want to use my Reiki for this instead because of that. So it's the path is really understanding the flow and trusting it and not needing to go back to the way things were, but saying, this is my reality now. I'm going to trust this and see with curiosity where we go next.
Yes.
Did I answer that completely? I hope.
Yes, you did. And I think I just have to let go of the fear that I have of going forward without him by my side, and hopefully, be open to trust myself when I doubt, is that a sign or wasn't it? I doubt myself. And
that's so human. Don't worry about that. That is like such an early part of the journey, is doubting ourselves. And I watch your language too, because I can guarantee you he is still at your side. We've had evidence of Rudy walking across, both Ty and I felt him at the same time, walking across our feet in bed after he passed. We both sat up and said, did you feel that? Oh, got the goosebumps. And so every night we say, good night, Rudy, good night, Gretchen. And then we say, good night, Rusty and Nellie, to the ones that are still here. Carry on that relationship. All of you, with your pets, with your loved ones who have passed, they are still right here. Like my book title, it is So true. And as you go on this journey, you will have some experiences of how he shows up in your life with signs and synchronicities and communications. Gretchen talks to me in English words now, and she never did before she passed. And at first you might say, I'm making that up.
Yeah.
But there's a knowing in your heart. You said earlier, I think something or other. That's just an indicator we're in our head. Drop into the heart where you feel the truth. Everybody. Now move farther down to the hara where you know your dog is still here, right?
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thanks for coming on the show. All right. So now, glad you all are still with me. This is the wild card moment where this is totally unscripted. We're going to see how spirit takes us to balance, thanks to the question we had earlier about, is it helpful to have yin and yang balanced to hear the guidance from spirit? My guides just said, get your notepad off your lap. I was writing insights as they arose so I wouldn't forget it. And spirit says, even then, we won't let you forget anything. It'll just arise anew. So yeah, coherence is the goal. Coherence is lack of jitteriness, lack of imbalance, lack of incoherence. Anytime you can bring your entire field of awareness into coherence, it will be much easier to sense the guidance arising from the field, however it arises, rather instantly as insights or noticing something you might not have noticed before. So very simple practice here. Join me and close your eyes if you're not driving. Lynette, don't close your eyes. All right. If you can close your eyes, but even if you're driving, you can always relax with a nice inhale through the nose with me now. In, 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 in. And exhale. I can hear the guides stepping in right now. Exhale out, 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 out. Just a big ah with that. Hopefully you feel more relaxed, but let's do it again with the intention of relaxing even more. Find any tension in your body as you breathe in through the nose. Do you see how slowly we did that? And now just feel yourself become this puddle, a still pond, just nice and relaxed, exhaling completely. Now in this nice relaxed state, imagine that you are this shaft of white light, not just sitting in it, but you are this light, not just an orb, but this connection between heaven and earth, temporarily in a body. The body is part of that shaft of light, but it's consisting of awareness bubbling up in different forms. So in this moment now, consciousness, awareness as energy and information is flowing up from the center of the earth, up through your feet, up your legs to the hara there, the center of your shaft of light, and continuing on up to the heavens. We can call this the feminine energy line or the yin line. Now visualize another line of energy coming from the heavens down, down through the crown, through the head, through the heart, right there at the hara, the center of you, and down through your legs, and into the earth. Those two flows of energy never stop. That's what animates you. That's what's giving you your vitality now and this earthly experience. But they can come out of balance for myriad reasons. They can get out of perfect flow together in opposite directions due to your thoughts, your memories, your physical condition, due to interacting with other people's fields that might be off balance. It's all good. It's all life, love in full expression here and now. And yet, coherence is optimal. And coming into coherence is as easy as asking awareness itself to balance itself. Just as the cells in your body, without interference from the brain, know how to achieve perfect balance, awareness knows how to find balance in you. All we have to do is get out of the way and say, consciousness, spirit, life, balance these two flows of energy in me now. And your awareness, seeing those two flows flowing equally, beautifully, unimpeded through you, works with awareness itself to bring you into balance. Notice how you feel right now, having removed thoughts of the story, thoughts of imbalance, focusing on balance, coherence, asking for it to be so, visualizing it to be so, and so it is. This is balance. This is coherence. What a gift. And it's that simple. And there we go. That's a quick 3-minute practice you can do anytime. You don't have to remember the words. Just remember the motive and what you're doing, and why you're doing it is the motive, but what you're doing, coming into balance, your natural state. And the beauty is that through contrast, we notice when we're out of balance and we can help ourselves come back in. It's all awareness, it's all spirit, it's all joy. And my new acronym that I just shared with my Shift Network course, joy, is just this, that's the J, just this, awareness, the I am. Open, that's the O, open awareness, spaciousness, that's your soul's true nature. And the Y is yesing, saying yes to what is arising. Instead of saying, this can't be happening, it is happening, yes. And now asking for guidance. What do I do with this moment? It's all joy. Thank you for joining me. Wow, that hour went quickly. I hope you love the new Always Connected format. Next week, we'll be back with a new one, and I don't even know what the topic is. So check out my YouTube channel homepage by tomorrow, I will have put up a new one, and you can join me next week. Again, put some comments in the section in the bottom if you like this. And a couple people mentioned my classes. I have a new Shift Network class coming online soon, all about mastering the mediumship mindset. That should be a good one. I've already done it before, and I'm going to join live and share with all of you. So thank you for joining me live. If you didn't join us live, now you can watch it over and over in the podcast channel. I love you all. Good to feel you here today. I hope you got something of value. Thank you to Spirit. Thank you for helping us trust. What a journey we're on. We'll see you all here next week. Bye-bye.